EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, April 22nd and 23rd, 2023. This time of year, it's getting warmer outside, and you start thinking about outdoor parties and events. Graduations are coming up. It's wedding season. It's outdoor barbecue season with friends and family. And most of these events, you have to plan well in advance without knowing what the weather's going to be like on that particular day. And then you're left hoping and praying for the best, right? Well, our new weekend video forecast sponsor can help you with the weather part of it. Pitch a Tent Rental Company is located in Fogelsville, Pennsylvania, and serves the greater Lehigh Valley and surrounding areas. If you're planning any event, big or small, check out their website to reserve tents to keep your event dry and take the weather part of it out of the equation when you're planning for these events. They can also help you out with tables, chairs, coolers, and even a dance floor and a bass-thumping sound system. They can help you out with that too. The folks at Pitch a Tent recommend always to use protection from the elements, that is, as you never know how hot, cold, dry, or wet your big day may be. Go to pitchatentrentals.com and be sure to include EPAWA in the additional comments section to receive a 10% discount. They are Pitch a Tent Rental Company, proud sponsors of the weekend video forecast. So this weekend, this would be one of those situations where if you have an outdoor event planned, you'd have to account for that with some tents, right? So we have some rain coming in. I do think it's going to hold off most of the day. We've been talking about this all week. And unless you're out in central PA, you will get it earlier this afternoon, okay? This is going to move through. And it's going to be a quick in and out deal. We're probably looking at about 3 to 4 hours at any given location. You're going to experience rain. There will be some thunderstorms with them as well. We're not expecting largely any severe weather until you get maybe across Maryland and Delaware. There could be some with a little bit more gustier winds. So will be some gusty winds with the thunderstorms, but we're generally looking at maybe like 30, 35 as this line moves through. Nothing really crazy. We get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and we'll start this off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You can follow the timestamp in the upper right-hand corner as I move this forward. And by the way, in advance of this today, it's going to be cloudy or mostly cloudy, okay? Not much sun in advance of this today, and you're going to actually have a continued southeasterly or easterly flow ahead of this, and that's going to be like another marine air mass that you're going to be dealing with in our eastern areas. So that's going to mitigate anything over in our far eastern areas regardless. It does look a little feisty here on the simulated radar, which I'm using a composite reflectivity on purpose so you can pick out anything that might jump ahead of the line. There's not really an indication of that currently at the current data that I'm using, but this is just an indication. This is not necessarily meaning severe weather, and as a matter of fact, it probably won't be. It's just looking at the rainfall intensity. Because this front is almost like north-south alignment, you get a little bit more pull of some moisture in with it, and this is a reflection of heavy rain that can occur as that front moves through. So I'm going to move this forward here. Here's 3 p.m. 4 p.m., it's anywhere from the heavier stuff anyway, is looking at anywhere from like the Williamsport area all the way down to Harrisburg and points in between, and that's at 4 o'clock. Here is 5 and here is 6. Still got this really strong line here, but again, this is radar reflectivity, intensity of rainfall. So there could be some very heavy rainfall with this as it moves through, at least initially. And then, again, once it moves through, then you got an hour or two of showers behind that as the rainfall intensity lessens. Now, this is 6 p.m. Originally scheduled here in South Philadelphia was the Phillies game at 4:05. They've moved that to 3:05. And that was probably a good decision, okay? Because if this is 6 o'clock, it's right on your doorstep. South Philadelphia is right there. So if you have anything coming in here right around the end of the game, there's a possibility you could have a delay. And if you have a delay, it's done. You're not going to be able to resume the game because, again, this is going to last like 3 to 4 hours. So it's not something you just pick up and, after it moves through, a quick in and out type thing. But in this case, South Philadelphia, where they play, is right here where this dot is, right here. That's where they are, okay? So this is right on your doorstep, and you might have some showers at first before the heavier rain comes in. It may have gotten lucky, and you could have gotten the game in by, if the game started at 4:05, you're probably running into issues right around this, 7th inning or thereabout, even with the faster times of the Major League Baseball. But if this does come in here between 6 and 7, which is what we gave them for an estimate, it's going to cause some problems toward the end of the game, possibly. So they didn't want to run into those issues. So why not just move the game up an hour? And that's why they did so you can have a better chance to get the entire game in. Regardless, this is moving across 6 p.m., here's 7 p.m., here's 8, here's 9, and this goes all the way up into the evening hours. It does lessen in rainfall intensity as it moves eastward because, again, it's hitting that marine flow coming off the ocean, which is going to be cooler in our eastern areas as a result of that. So once it hits that, it's going to really stabilize things any more than it already is, and probably not dealing with thunderstorms anymore across New Jersey. Maybe some rumbles of thunder yet, but nothing really exciting. And then this will move through again after 3 to 4 hours. Any locations moves through late in the overnight, and we are good to go here on Sunday. Total rainfall, by the way, out of this is showing generally anywhere between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch for most areas, except for far southeast. You're looking at between 1/4 and 1/2. That's what we sent in alerts yesterday. Not going to be impossible to see some areas getting over that 3/4 of an inch threshold, especially in some of these heavier rain bands that are persistent over the same areas while that line's moving through. But you get upwards of an inch or maybe slightly more than that if that's the case. But that will be a hyper-local type thing, okay? Once this moves through, we are back to partly mostly sunny skies here on Sunday. We'll be cooler, but not really chilly yet. It's going to be kind of maybe a degree or two below average, not really too bad. It's still in the 60s, solidly in the 60s, as you can see above me. 60 to 68 is the spread in temperatures here on Sunday after spending today in the 70s across the region. And then once we get to Monday and Tuesday, those are your bottom out days, so to speak. As they are dry days. They're looking at partly cloudy skies both days, but this trough that's in place over the region, which you can clearly see right here, this is going to be in place Monday and Tuesday. You get a cold air push in here, and you're going to have temperatures in the 55 to 60 degree range both of those days, both Monday and Tuesday. Now, we are going to recover a little bit, we think, here on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to have the trough starting to lift out a little bit, so the temperatures get up in maybe the lower 60s. And then we continue in the low to mid 60s here for both Thursday and Friday. We're going to watch this system off to our south here. European model has this still off to the south, but their GFS has been bringing us awfully close off to the northern areas here, up a little bit further north, and that could give us, at least in our southern areas, maybe a shower or so on the northern fringe of that system if it comes far enough northward here on Thursday. So we'll keep an eye on that. That would be the Wednesday night into Thursday time frame if that were to occur. Right now, the European model keeps that further south. And the European model does have an upper level low up here in New England here at the end of the week on Friday. We'd left just an isolated shower in the forecast with that because there's a lot of uncertainty with upper level lows. But it does look like after that point, it wants to keep the weekend dry. So we'll see. A lot of uncertainty here when you get past 5 days here in these forecasts. That's why we do them every single day. We'll update you with the latest information when we do this again next week of what the mid to late week situation is going to look like, which could be completely different by then. But we do know how this weekend is going to play out. That's most important right now. And we'll see you back here on Monday with updates on the mid to late week period next week at that time. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for the weekend, April 22nd and 23rd, 2023. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.